And I bear witness
that
Muhammad
is the messenger of God.
is his messenger of God.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Bro, congratulations. Habibi, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from you. And now, this time around, make you firm on your deen.
Hey folks, the merch is out! If you would love to support, get yourself a hat, get yourself a hoodie. Let's go!
That you left Islam?
Kept on finding things that were things I didn't agree with.
Okay, I respect that. Like what, if
Yeah.
you don't mind me asking?
Is that homosexuality? It's a natural thing, so why is it forbidden?
Very good question. So, may I ask you, are you only against homosexuality, or are you against incest also?
I'm against incest. That's it.
Okay, so what's the difference for you?
Wait, say that again?
What's the difference for you? Like, why are you against one and not against the other?
Well, because sex is different to being related to someone. It's like having black hair. Like if you have black hair and the other person has black hair, does that mean you're basically mating with your sister? No, it doesn't. It's just because you have something.
But what if I'm attracted to my sister? What does that change?
Well,
Like, homosexuality is a desire. It's not a sex. We're not talking about transgenders. We're talking about homosexuality. Homosexuality is an attraction. What's the difference to you? The attraction to the same gender and the attraction to your relative.
One's causes birth defects. One is not natural. One is not natural.
Yeah, but that's a very easy statement for you to say. I could as easy say it's not natural for homosexuality, but then you'll say no, it is. But then I'll ask you to give me proof, and then there is no scientific proof to give me. There are theories to show that animals and in nature, but since when do we take our morals from animals?
Well, but it kind of shows that it's kind of natural. Usually, it shows that it's an.
Okay, so what if the incest does not create birth defects? Like, what if it's two homosexual brothers? You can't create a baby with that.
It's still wrong. It's still wrong.
You know why it's wrong, bro? Because society still didn't say it's fine. The reason you're okay with homosexuality is because society says it is. It's if you lived in 20, 40, 50, 70 years from now, and a bunch of brothers and sisters are walking down the street and asking for their rights, you would say, why does Islam say that we're not allowed to marry our brothers and sisters? It's just as simple as that. The same reason why if you were born 100, 200, 300 years ago, you would never have asked that question. But that's why my morality comes from the Quran. Whatever is right or wrong comes from the Quran. Now you have to ask yourself, where does your morality come from? If it's society, then it's going to be every time society decides something new, you're going to follow along. For me, it doesn't matter if society is okay or not okay with something. If Allah is not, I'm not going to be for it. And if Allah is, then I'm going to be for it.
So why would you make animals do it, but not humans?
I don't make any animals do it.
No, I'm not talking about you, but like,
Why would Allah allow animals to do it?
Yeah.
Animals don't get judged.
Animals don't get judged.
Animals don't have a day of, they don't go to hell or heaven. We do. You see, there are three types of creation. There's the angels that have no free will and do whatever God tells them. And they're not sinful because they don't do anything wrong. Then there's the animals that do whatever they want and don't obey because they have no set of punishment. They just do whatever they want. Then there's the humans that could do right or could do wrong and has the free will to do either or.
But how would you expect one book to convert everyone? Like it's kind of.
But do you agree on the first point? It just feels like you're kind of like.
Yeah, I agree with the first point.
Okay, Khalas, perfect. Alhamdulillah. That's a very good question. How do you expect one book to convert everybody? Look, the Prophet ﷺ says a very good point. He says, everybody will enter Jannah illa man aba. Everybody will enter Jannah, paradise, except those that refuse. Now they asked him, who would refuse, Ya Rasulullah? He says, those that don't follow my way, right? For me, I don't have any control in anybody's guidance. I preach. The Quran is very clear, simple. You can read it, you can understand it, then it's left to you. There's a reason why there's a hell. I know it sounds harsh, but there's a reason why it exists. Because there are people who won't believe. Now, for you, how do you expect people to accept Islam? Well, Islam is perfect. You bring me morality points, I'll discuss morality points. You bring me science points, I'll discuss science points. You bring me linguistics, you bring me predictions, whatever you want. Now, you see, the problem for you to disbelieve in Islam is you need to find a hole in it. Until you find a hole in it, there's absolutely nothing to be discussed.
But the thing is, I never found anything like really bad into it. I just didn't really find any faith into it. I didn't think
Okay, now we could you see, don't you think that something might have happened in your life that you felt like, hey, you know what? Maybe God does, like maybe your mom told you to pray 5 times a day. Maybe your mom told you to fast. And then you're like, you know what? I don't want to pray. I don't want to fast. You know what? Maybe God doesn't even exist. So your way of not kind of obeying the rules of Islam is you leaving Islam altogether. Especially if you don't have a reason. Like you started the homosexuality, we discussed it. And it doesn't seem like you've had another point since. Now my question to you is, what if your Islam became more of a spirituality with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? You get closer to Allah. You start reading and listening, and then start practicing after that. You know, there's a famous line of Aisha radiallahu anha, who's the mother of the believers, because she was the wife of the Prophet, peace be upon him. And she said, you know, if the first verses to come down was do not sleep, don't have sex, or don't drink alcohol, the Sahaba, which are the best of generation, they're not even compared to us, they would say we were never going to leave alcohol, we're never going to leave intercourse. Because the first verses that came down, she says, were about believing in God and loving God and heaven and hell and stuff like that, then it becomes, when they said to stop drinking, it became easy. When you love God, it's like, sounds weird. Imagine I tell you, hey, this girl wants you to start wearing longer pants. I don't know, that sounds weird to say, but this girl wants you to start wearing longer pants. You're like, who the hell is this girl? But if I tell you your wife wants you to wear longer pants, you'll be like, yeah, because I love her. So that same status becomes different when you make a relationship with that person.
Yeah.
Those same rules become love if God becomes your God, becomes the person you're close to, the person you refer to. It's very easy to lose faith. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's very easy to lose faith, especially in a world that tries to push a lot of things towards us. A lot of like, why you want to drink, you want to sleep around, you want to be all loving and not say anything's wrong. But bro, there's a reality of things. Even if you denied gravity, it's still there. Even if you deny Allah, it's still there. And that's why I wanted to give you your time, because I feel like, you know, unfortunately, a lot of people of knowledge won't give somebody like you time, because they'll be like, oh, you left Islam, stop talking to me. But I wanted to give you your time to show you that, hey, you know, in front of Allah, you're not going to have an excuse. And I don't mean this in a scary way, but I actually mean it in a more like, I'm giving you your time because I feel like you're listening.
Okay. When you said that also reminded me of something like another reason. There's so many religions, and the fact that I didn't know which one's right, and it literally, the amount of stress I get from thinking, if I'm not believing in the right religion, and I go to hell forever, like literally forever.
Okay, Christianity. Let's break it down very simply. Do you feel like it might be a mistake that you're not worshiping Jesus?
That's something I kind of found weird about it. Well, that's the thing.
You know, I discuss with Christians day and night about the worship of Jesus, and they have a hard time explaining it. So you as a ex-Muslim won't have an easier time to explain it. They have a hard time. I go day and night, and I bring out the Bible, and I say, but just Luke said this, Mark said this. Why aren't you believing? And alhamdulillah, through these conversations, a lot of Christians gave shahada. So I think it's safe to say that if you were to study Christianity, if you study the real words of Jesus, he would tell you to worship one God. Like in Mark, he says, what is the great commandment? He said, hear, O Israel, your Lord is one. So for me, Islam is that only religion that says your Lord is one. So in reality, if you're thinking maybe it's a mistake, that just means you don't know Christianity, and you know people that are Christian that are trying to make it this beautiful la thing, but that does not the reality of things. You are worshipping a man. You are worshipping a man that did not want to be worshipped. And so that's number one. That's Christianity. I think it's safe to say that I think for you it would be not one of the options. As for Judaism, but they don't even want you to convert. So what are you stressing out about? They really don't want non-Jews to enter their religion. So what are you stressing out about? What religion of God would not want non-Jews to be part of your religion? Okay? Hinduism. Hinduism has no straight beginning. We don't know where it came from. Has no straight book of it has no set, like I wouldn't even know what to preach. I wouldn't even know what to dismiss because every Hindu has different beliefs. People could tell you I could be a Hindu and be a Muslim because they don't have a set of beliefs. And obviously they believe in multiple gods, believe in this kind of God. Bro, I don't even have a thing to refer back to. We don't have a beginning. I've studied world religions. We have an estimate time, but that's it. We don't know who it started with, why, who's this. Like, how are you gonna have a religion that doesn't have a principle? Like, I don't know where to go back to. As for Buddhism, bro, Buddhism, if you study Buddhism, who the Buddha is and what he discussed, even if you studied some people when, like, it sounds very weird, but some people when they say when he was skinny, he was divine, but when he was fat, he was like a prophet. It was it was very complicated, but it's reincarnation, believing in nirvana, getting back to the higher power, like. And if you realize, and this is a very important factor, Hinduism and Buddhism are a religion that are more location oriented, where Islam and Christianity are more internationally. You'll find a lot more around the world. There's a reason why these two are the main religions that are valid to discuss. Now, your last one should have been, what if God doesn't exist? The real one is, what if God doesn't exist and I waste my time worshipping? And the reality of it is that there's a man called Pascal that it's called Pascal's law. He said, then your outcome is one of four things. Either you're a non-believer, and your best case scenario is you're dead forever. Your best case scenario is you're dead forever. Your worst case scenario is that you're going to hell. Or if you're a believer, your best case scenario is you make it to Jannah. Your worst case scenario is you're dead forever. So the believer's worst case scenario is the non-believer's best case. So just on that, sorry?
So there's no harm in believing.
Not only is there no harm, it actually makes you a better person. My question to you is, what's stopping you from accepting Islam again?
Nothing.
Would you be willing to accept Islam again?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would love to give you your shahada if you're willing to take it.
Alright.
Okay, so inshallah, I'm gonna say it in Arabic, and I want you to repeat it after me.
Okay.
Okay. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasul Allah. I bear witness that there's nothing worthy of worship except Allah. And I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of God.
Is his messenger of God.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Bro, congratulations. Habibi, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from you. And now, this time around, make you firm on your deen. Bro, don't underestimate yourself because you're young. Bro, you're a smart man. But sometimes, our faith goes down and high. I'm just happy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted you again. Or even accepted me. Or accepted anybody. Like, the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to come back to him. Wants us to find him again. And the most beautiful thing is Allah Ghafurur Rahim. And a lot of people are like, oh, but you've done this mistake, you left Islam, but it doesn't matter. It really matters where you are right now. And right now you're a Muslim. If you were to die right now, you die as a Muslim. Taqullah haqqa tuqatih wa la tamutunna illa wa antum. One of the lines in the Quran is, fear Allah, the fear that is deserving of it. Meaning, be conscious of Allah. Be worried fearing of Allah. Know your Lord. Know your Lord, the consciousness that is deserving of Him. And do not die except in the state of Islam. MashaAllah, you're still alive.